and in this lesson we are going to learn how to answer IELTS Academic Writing Task 1, namely how to describe a line graph. I'll give you all the essential information to give a Band 9 answer. So let's take a look at the given line graph. What it says. The line graph below shows the household recycling rates in 3 different countries between 2005 and 2015. So, you are always given a description of your graph in your topic. This information is very important as it helps you to understand what's going on your graph. So, read the topic carefully. Now, we can take a closer look at the graph. Down the vertical axis, we have the percentages, and along the horizontal axis, we have the years. We can also see that we have 3 countries, the UK in blue, France in red, and Germany in green. So that's our line graph. Now let's see how you should structure your answer. Here is the standard structure that you should follow to give a Band 9 answer. It consists of introduction and body paragraphs. You should never write a conclusion when describing a graph. So, the first paragraph you write is your introduction. After that, you start writing your body paragraphs. In your body paragraphs, you should, first of all, give something called a general overview. Secondly, give the detail. Now, let's see how you should write each paragraph in order to produce a Band 9 answer. For the introduction, you need simply to paraphrase the information from your topic. It should not be longer than 2 sentences. You see, you need simply to tell what your graph shows and for what period of time. And here is how I wrote it. The line graph illustrates the regional household recycling rates in the UK, France, and Germany from 2005 to 2015. As you see, the first 2 words were kept the same. I didn't change the line graph, and you should never ever change the type of your graph, because it will lose the meaning if you do so. So, if you have a table, keep the table. If you have a bar chart, keep the bar chart. And if you have a diagram, keep the diagram. I had the line graph, I did not change it, and after that comes the verb. And the verb can always be replaced with a synonym. So it's a very good idea to paraphrase the verb. So, instead of shows, you can use illustrates and gives information about. There are also other synonyms, but it's enough to remember these 3 for your introduction. After that, I expanded the phrase household recycling rates into regional household recycling rates according to the graph. So you see, I look at my graph and I look at my topic at the same time. And I include all the key information from my graph and from my topic into my introduction. After that, I list the countries. Instead of simply saying 3 countries, I give the specific names. I say the UK, France, and Germany. And it's a very good technique to give the names, as you should be very specific when introducing the graph. So, always try to list countries in your introduction. Finally, we have a time period, which you should always give when it's possible. So, I changed the phrase between 2005 and 2015 to from 2005 to 2015. So, that's all with our introduction. It's absolutely clear, it's absolutely accurate. So anyone who reads it without seeing our graph will have a clear understanding of what our graph shows, for what countries, and for what period of time. To learn more ways of effective paraphrase for your introduction, you can see the link above.
In this lesson, I'm going to explain how to write introductions for IELTS Writing Task 1 and Task 2. I think introductions for both tasks should be short and fast. Many students waste a lot of time writing long introductions, but remember, main body paragraphs are more important, so it's best to do introductions quickly. To do this, you need simple techniques. For task 1, paraphrase the question. You only need to write one sentence. And for task 2, introduce the topic, then give a simple answer to the question. You could just write 2 sentences. Let's have a look at task 1, paraphrasing the question. Here's an example question. The graph below shows the proportion of the population aged 65 and over between 1940 and 2040 in 3 different countries. For my introduction, I just need to rewrite this question in my own way, changing a few words. So, firstly, I've changed the graph below shows to the line graph compares. Then, the proportion of the population, the percentage of people. Aged 65 and over, I've changed to age 65 or more. And between 1940 and 2040, I've changed to over a period of 100 years. This is a good phrase for time periods, over a period of. Finally, you can see that I've put in 3 countries before the time period. So, my introduction is, the line graph compares the percentage of people aged 65 or more in 3 countries over a period of 100 years. Let's have a look at task 2. As I said, I write 2 sentences, I introduce the topic, then I answer the question in a simple way. Here's an example question for task 2. As computers are being used more and more in education, there will soon be no role for the teacher in the classroom. To what extent do you agree or disagree? First, I need to introduce the topic of computers in education. So here's my sentence. It is certainly true that computers have become an essential tool for teachers and students in all areas of education. You can see that I agree that computers are being used more and more in education. I've used the phrase, it is certainly true that, and I've written, computers have become an essential tool for teachers and students in all areas of education. In my second sentence, I need to answer the question in a simple way. The question is, do I agree that there will soon be no role for the teacher in the classroom? I'm going to say that I don't agree. So here's my sentence. However, while computers are extremely useful, I do not agree with the idea that they could soon replace teachers completely. You can see that I do not agree. I think computers are useful, but they will not replace teachers completely. So here's my full introduction. It is certainly true that computers have become an essential tool for teachers and students in all areas of education. However, while computers are extremely useful, I do not agree with the idea that they could soon replace teachers completely. This is a very clear introduction that introduces the topic and answers the question so the examiner knows what your position is. So, for both task 1 and task 2, we have simple techniques that you can use to learn to write short, fast introductions which examiners will like. Then you can spend more time on the main body of your essay, which is more important.